Hey everyone, welcome to this month's Global Stampin Video Hop. My name is Sophia and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Edmonton, Canada. And this month our theme is layers. So I'm going to show you how to make a card with a lot of layers and texture. So it might take a little while, just a pre-warning, but I will fast forward through any parts that are taking me really long. So with that, let's get started. I am going to be starting with a smoky slate colored card base today. I just wanted something neutral. I am going to admit a lot of these pieces are just scraps that were sitting on my desk. And so, yeah, I kind of looked at them and I'm like, this is going to work great for a layered card. And so with that, let's go ahead and score this cardstock. So I'm gonna score it at 5.5 because that is half of 11, which is what this side is right here. Okay, just put that to the side. And then, oh, what is that? It's okay. I'm gonna fold this in. That's the inside, so it's okay. And where's my bone folder? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm just creasing this with my bone folder to give it a nice crease so that when we put it up, it stands. Yeah, so that is my card base and it's just the standard 5.5 by 11, but it is a tent fold, so it opens up from the top. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put that to the side because I don't need it right now. The next thing I'm gonna do is emboss this piece of very vanilla cardstock. I wanna call it very vanilla white, but it's just very vanilla. So I'm gonna be using my embossing folder. This is just part of my stash now. I don't think Stampin' Up! Sells it anymore. It's called Tin Tile. I've only been a demonstrator for 2 years, so I don't have a lot of supplies. And I'm one of those people that signed up right on the spot when I wanted to make a big order because I wanted the discount. All right, so I'm just gonna straighten that and then I'm gonna emboss it. So I will skip over the embossing part and come back when I'm ready. All right, so here is my finished embossed piece. Isn't that really pretty? I love that it kind of gives it like an old look. Like this is a really cute embossing folder in my opinion. So this, very vanilla, is gonna layer right on top of this cardstock. And I can go ahead and actually do that because I don't need to put anything under this piece. So when you've embossed a piece of cardstock, especially if it's 3D like this one is, use your liquid glue to sit it down because it'll actually stick down a little bit better. So we're just gonna go ahead and put this on here. I'm putting it on the side because it's gonna cover all of that up. Okay, so center it and then just lay it down. And when you've embossed something, kind of hold it down there so that it stays on real nice. Okay, so there's that. The next thing I'm gonna put on here, so we have 2 layers now. We have the card base and the top layer. And I had these little hexagons that I used for a different project. So I'm gonna bring that in today and we are gonna do some stamping on here, okay? So I'm gonna use tone on tone stamping and I'm using, this is Just Jade. So this is one of the in colors from last year. But if you don't have it, you could use Mint Macaron as well. That's a color that's current. So I'm just gonna grab a blending brush. That's number 1. And you're just gonna pick up some Just Jade ink. And on both of these 2 top pieces, I'm gonna be layering them like this. So I kind of just wanna go on the edges to bring in some texture so that it's not just a plain piece of paper. it's kind of got some different colors on there. Okay, pick up just a tiny bit more and do the same thing on this one. Okay, and it doesn't have to be everywhere, just on the edges. All right, so there, it looks very different from just plain. All right, so now the next thing I'm going to do is some stamping, and I am using the Christmas season stamp set from the annual catalog. From here, I've chosen this greenery image, and I'm just going to stamp this onto these pieces here. So just decide how you want to place them, and then let's do some stamping. So just pick that up and bring it down. I'm not stamping the whole thing, just a little bit. And same with this one. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to use, just bringing it in here. Okay, so I'm going to use this little piece of pine tree, and I'm going to stamp that on here. So this piece I'm going to put kind of like this, so it looks like it's in a vase, like kind of like a cactus in a vase almost, but it's not a cactus. It's just kind of the background. And right, no, I'm not going to stamp on that one. So that's just going to stay plain. So I will add some of that green onto here as well. Okay. Yeah, it's always fun to make it look not plain. There. Now it looks kind of half colored, half not. Okay. So we're just gonna kind of set this to the side, and I'm gonna show you how this is gonna kind of look on here. So it's gonna be like that. And then this is gonna come on in here in the middle, like this. There's two other pieces, and these are just gonna kind of come off the side, like that. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna stamp this on white, or actually I'm gonna use Very Vanilla just because I have the scrap for that. And I'm gonna do that in gray, or smoky slate, sorry. And we're just gonna go ahead and stamp it in the center. And I'm gonna do 2 of them. And then I'm gonna use the little berry stamp, and I'm gonna do that in Magenta Madness, which is also a color from last year. So if you don't have it, you could use Polished Pink, which is an in color of this year, and it's very similar. So just pick that up and stamp there. So now that all of my stamping is pretty much done, actually it's not, I'm lying. I still want to stamp the greeting, so we'll get that done too. So I'm using the UR from the Sale-A-Bration stamp set that's running right now. If you spend, I think it's $120, you can get it for free, and it's really nice. It has 4 big words, and then it has little words to kind of go with them. So from there, I'm using UR, and that's gonna be in basic gray. Okay, and then I have the Amazing, and that is gonna be in, you know, I was gonna do it in gold, so I'm gonna stamp it and in Versamark right onto here, and I'm gonna heat emboss that in gold. So I guess this is actually the perfect time to show you this cute little tray that I got from Stampin' Up. It's in the new mini catalog, and it's for heat embossing, and it's great because I've never had anything like this before. So I'm just gonna grab my Versamark and stamp up the Amazing. Okay, and just like that, stamp it down. Okay, you want to be able to see in the light that you've stamped it properly. I don't know if you can see it in the camera there. Okay, and I'm just gonna grab my gold. This is white. Okay, gold, so we'll just put that away. And this I should have actually used on there, but I didn't, so that's okay. And then just sprinkle your embossing powder on, turn it over. I like to kind of just flick this so that all the powder comes off. I feel like there's some missing there. Just do that part again. Okay, so now I'm just gonna heat emboss this, die cut those pieces, and I will be right back. All right, guys, so I am back with all of my pieces die cut out. So I've cut everything out there, and then I fussy cut this out with my scissors. So we are ready to start putting everything together. So the first thing, actually, before we started, I wanted to use my Crafter's ink and just ink up these dots, and they're kind of gonna go on here randomly. Okay, same with this one here. Just like that. And I'm actually going to do it on the back of this one too, which is going to be in the center. So again, try to do it randomly, just like that. Okay. So I'm going to I'm just going to clean that off because it's kind of hard to get Crafter's ink off of a stamp before we move on. And yeah, maybe just wipe this down too so we don't get it anywhere, and we'll move on. Okay, so I brought my card base back, and the first thing I'm gonna do is put these middle pieces on. So you're gonna place them how you like them and decide if you want to do them on dimensionals or not. I think in this situation I'm not, just because I have other pieces that are coming onto this card. Okay, so I'm going to use my liquid glue to put these guys down. So that's going to come down just like this. Make sure you hold it down a bit. And then that one's going to kind of go on top. Okay, so this is going to kind of come overlap it just a little bit. That's the better word, right? Okay, so once that's on, this is gonna get glued down under here. So we're just gonna put a tiny bit of glue on there and put the gold little vase in the center. Okay, actually, I didn't realize this, but before that dries, let's try to squeeze these guys in as well, just like that. Okay. Yeah, like this. Okay, now this is gonna come on dimensionals. I feel like that crafter's ink is not showing up on there as much as I wanted it to. So we're just gonna make our own dots. There. Maybe in the centers, I'll add some ink there too, just to make it pop. Okay. Now, the last thing I had there is the berries. And those are also gonna just go right on top like that. So, just gonna put some liquid glue on there as well. Just a tiny bit and move it around. You don't have to add more. Less is more with liquid glue. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, and I'm putting it on kind of an angle here. Like that. And then this is gonna layer right on top here. So, or actually we'll get these ones, these triangles on first too. So I'm gonna put this just right over here. Oh, it's not staying straight for me, but that's okay. Oh, it's okay, I have extras. Have this one. How did I want this? I can't even remember anymore. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. And then this one is just gonna go like that. Yeah. All right, so this is gonna glue down just over here, like this. And where's that other one? Now I can add one more right here, but I'm just gonna hold off on that for now because I don't know if I want it fully. So before we put this up on dimensionals here, I'm gonna take some very vanilla twine, and this is gonna be kind of another little layer on the card. So I'm gonna take about 10 centimeters there and just snip it right off. And I'm gonna put it down in the middle there. So I'm gonna make this a little bit of a bigger circle, like that. And kind of just put it there. So for that, I'm just gonna use my tape runner and kind of know exactly where I want it to be. So probably here and here. And then I'm just gonna stick it down. Okay. I like circles, so yeah, it doesn't have to be a perfect circle, but any kind of circles will do. And then this is just gonna come right on top of here like that. So we'll grab dimensionals and I'll put that piece on. Okay, and I'm just gonna fast forward through this part because it takes me a really long time to take dimensionals off. Okay, so now I have it ready and I'm just gonna throw it down kind of in the center, but not really. In the center of these two. So there is the card starting to come together. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and put my greeting on, which is gonna be the last layer. So this side is gonna need a dimensional, but not the other side. So we'll just put one on this side and then put liquid glue on the other. Just a spot. It doesn't have to be a ton. And then this is gonna come on here like that. Just hold it down for a second because you don't want it to fall off. And then the beautiful amazing is gonna come here. And this is also gonna be on dimensionals. Okay, so here is the amazing. And we're just gonna put it down right there. Like that. Isn't that cute, you guys? Okay, so of course, the last thing or the last layer we're gonna put on here is some embellishments, and I'm just gonna grab some. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of these. I don't think they're in the annual catalog, unfortunately, but they're so good. If you can get your hand on some of these butterflies, I highly recommend picking them up. These are the new tweezers that Stampin' Up! Came out with, and they're good, but I don't know if they're gonna be good for this because they're just too tight. But they're good to hold if you're heat embossing something and you don't want to get your fingers near the heat, because sometimes it feels like they're burning. They're really good. Okay, so I'm gonna put one down there and grab another one and maybe put it here. And another little one. Oops, I think I flipped that one. Yes, okay. So that one I'm just gonna put here. And you know what, I'll take a medium-sized one and put it there. There. So that is my finished card, you guys. You could throw a happy birthday greeting on the inside, and you are amazing. You can use this for like anything, really. All right, well, thanks for joining me today. Thanks for watching. If you've liked this card, please give this video a thumbs up. And I will be back next week to show you something different. If there's any materials that I've used in this video and you're thinking about buying it, I have put the item numbers below the video. So all you would have to do is pop into the online store, type in the item number, and you will find what you're looking for. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.